What's going on, everybody? Welcome to week 9 of the Cover 4 podcast. Happy Halloween week. As you can see, we got half the podcast in costumes. We had a pretty interesting week. Cody had a great week. I know he's getting hot just like last year, hot at the right time after a shaky start. Nate's still leading the way as we jump right into our records. Season, Nate, you're opening up the lead quite a bit. Cody, like I said, you're getting very hot at the right time, and you see the all-time standing still good across the board.
Yeah, I just want to shout out the tight end. So it was National Tight End Day on Sunday, and the tight end set a single-day catch record, actually. And shout out to Cade Auden, 981-2. Kyle Pitts, 491-2. Trey McBride, 124. And Kelsey and George Kittle also added to that madness. So shout out to the tight ends.
I was hoping McBride could get in the end zone. That was unfortunate. He still had a great day, though. He looked great.
Cade Auden did me right for fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
What do you get, 20-something?
Kyle
29?
Pitts, I love you.
Yeah. CD Lamb breaks out after the bye week, like we all said. We knew that would happen.
So shout out to me. I'm a little under the weather here. A little stuffed up.
Boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
But I guess
hope you feel better, Steve.
Hey, thank you.
Get better, bro.
All right, we open up week 9 in New York, where the abysmal New York Jets, sitting at 2-6, play host to the Texans. I'll make this quick. I think this is a bit of a trap game. I think everybody's going to be on the Texans, so give me the Jets. I've been up and down on Thursday nights this year, but in this spot, I think the Rodgers, I think he's going to will this team to a victory. Give me the Jets at home.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Steve here, but a little interesting fact for Joe Mixon in this game. Joe has had at least 101 in 4 out of his 5 games, so maybe sprinkle Joe. He's been hot. But I'm going to agree with Steve here. I'm going to go with the Jets minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm with the boys. I'm all in on the Jets. Like, they need to win at some point. They're at home. Diggs is down. Nico Collins is still out. Jets need this, and I think they get it done.
Yeah, that's a storm. Right off the bat, we have a storm. I'm on the Jets as well. This is another desperate spot. This can get them to 3-6. So hopefully Rodgers comes to play, and I think this comes down to the Jets defense just having a game in MetLife. So I'm going to take the Jets minus 1.5.
We're locked in. Let's have a week. Let's rip through these. Let's get win after win here, guys. A lot of storms I'm feeling this week.
Yes.
Feeling a lot of blowouts this week, honestly.
All right, next up, we got the Patriots and the Titans, 2 dog teams. Cody, are you laying 3.5 for the Tennessee Titans at home?
Yeah, I'm laying the number here with the Titans. I've liked how much better they look with Rudolph under center, as well as what I had said last week with Calvin Ridley. He just looked phenomenal. He's actually leading the NFL past 3 weeks in target share and targets. He leads all wide receivers in targets, so I think he has another big day, and I'm going to take the Titans.
Oh, thank you for that. I sprinkled in a FanDuel lineup. That was big.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you.
Good matchup.
Yeah, I'm with Cody here. I'm on the Titans as well. You know, the Lions blew them out, but like they were in that game for a little while, and I think they can definitely hang with the Patriots and get a win.
I'm going to go opposite of the boys here. I feel like the Pats are super, super scrappy this year, and I believe it's Brissett, right? He's starting.
Yeah, Drake May will be out.
Yeah.
I think he can still get it done. He had a great drive last week, so I'm going to go with the Pats here, plus 3.5.
I'm going to make Ghosty over here, Lone Wolf. I like the Titans minus 3.5. I'm back on the Titans after a little bit of an absence. I faded them last week. It worked out well for me, but in this spot, I think 2 garbage teams. I'll take the home team. I don't think Jacoby Brissett is capable of getting this one done.
Zach believes in brisket.
Hey, man, 3.5.
The hook.
Ooh. Next up, NFC South battle, the Saints at the Panthers. The Panthers are plus 7 at home. I will start this one. This is obviously a brutal game to pick. Deontay Johnson has made his way out the door. He's now in Baltimore. Do you think that's a good move for...
Still on the East Coast, so it's good for him, I guess.
Good move for the
Close
Ravens. They didn't give up much for him.
Yeah.
The Panthers,
it was basically a pick swap.
What's the direction of this Panthers team, man? It's Bryce Young's back out there.
They're tanking.
Didn't do much.
They're
tanking, absolutely, but like, how many years can you say that? And just you still got to get some pieces.
It went downhill ever since that trade with the Bears. I'm sorry, worst trade in NFL history. He could
just absolutely brutal.
DJ Moore, Caleb Williams. It goes on picks, whatever it was. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Cody, can we get a Derek Carr update?
Brutal.
What is? Do you have
he is going to. He's tracking to play in this
game.
Yeah, he's back at practice from the oblique injury, so
that means everything to me. I was on the Panthers if Derek Carr was trying not to play. If he is going to play, I mean, obviously we're doing this regardless of who plays, but I'm going to take the Saints minus 7. I don't like it. I don't like laying points with such a mediocre team, but they started 2-0 with Derek Carr. They obviously were losing with him, but it's Carolina, dude. How can you take Carolina at this point?
Yeah, definitely monitor this one. If Derek Carr is starting, I would lay the number with the Saints, but like CVA said, it's not a great feeling. If he doesn't and the Rat is starting, then take the points with the Panthers. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Saints, though, in hopes that Carr starts.
Yeah, divisional dogs. I'm going with the Panthers at home to cover against the Saints team. But Saints probably still going to win, but Panthers to cover.
All right, I'm going to be with Zach and Steve. I'm taking the Saints -7.
Panthers.
I think this team is a bit different and more dynamic with Carr under center, so I'm just going to be taking the Saints and hoping that he plays.
I was a lone wolf in the Panthers last week, and it's not a good feeling. You sure you don't want to switch to that, Storm? Nah. Okay. All right, moving on. All right, next up, Baltimore Ravens playing host, laying 9.5 points against the Denver Broncos. Cody, are you willing to lay basically 10 points with the Ravens, who are coming off a tough divisional loss?
Yeah, that was a tough divisional loss. We had, I don't know who else took the Browns last week, but we kind of had sniffed that one out. I know you did as well.
I think it was a storm. It was a storm.
We both said they were going to win outright, and they did.
Yeah.
So shout out to Winston. Great game. I'm not going to say I predicted that, but I could see that coming for sure.
Good for J-Mo, though, for real.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of that team is now fantasy relevant, which is nice. I'm going to be taking the Broncos plus 9.5 in Baltimore. I understand this team just got another wide receiver one in Deontay Johnson. Not too worried about that right now. I think it takes a little bit for him to fabricate himself into the offense. So I'll take the Broncos. Nix looks phenomenal, so I'm taking him. I'm riding with it.
Side note, very upset about Deontay going to the Ravens. Like, of all places, he has to go there. Whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Steelers couldn't trade for him back because you can't trade for the same player in the same season.
Yeah.
So whatever. So it wasn't hope to get him, but whatever. With that being said, though, I don't care who the Ravens have on offense. This Broncos defense is legit, and I don't trust them to win or cover 9.5. So give me Denver. And Denver's playing pretty hot anyway. So
yeah, I'm gonna agree with the boys. I mean, Bo Nix is coming off a career start. He's a stud, like I said, I think 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the cushion. 9.5 is kind of crazy, but yeah, plus 9.5 Broncos.
I'll target this for my first lone wolf. I've lone wolfed the Ravens more than I think anybody has lone wolfed any team on this show. I'm gonna take a -9.5. I think it's a great bounce back spot. They're gonna be reeling after that tough loss in Cleveland. They come back home, get the home cooking going. Give me a Ravens 21-point win.
change your pick.
Change my pick?
Yeah.
No. I'm pretty confident about this one. I like the Ravens in a blowout. All right, next up we got the Bengals. I like to say Cody's obviously a Cowboys fan, but I feel like he's a Bengals guy. And the Bengals are struggling, Cody. They're really struggling. I know we always joke about like Super Bowl futures with the Bengals and stuff. This year it just hasn't been the case. They haven't turned it on, but they are laying 7.5 points. I will open it up. This has been this one. The hook is really getting me here. I was leaning Raiders, but now I'm going to switch back. The Bengals, they haven't been playing great at home this year. They haven't been playing great in general, but I really think they can target this game as a springboard. Joe Burrow in the press conference saying, what do we only have to win? We can win 7
or
more.
9,
Yeah, 7-9. That's doable. Well, it starts here. You got to blow out the Raiders. The Raiders are not a good football team. They hung with the Chiefs last week, but that was a divisional game. I think the Bengals can win this game by 10.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Steve here. Bengals by 10. The Raiders are a very incomplete football team. The Bengals are a complete football team that sometimes can't get it done, but I think they get it done in this spot. I'm going to lay the 7.5, sprinkle 10.
Yeah, both these teams aren't playing up to par overall. Like, there's various holes amongst both teams. But with that being said, I don't like the Bengals, so I'm going with the Raiders to cover.
What?
All right, I'm going to be taking the Bengals -7.5. I think they have a bounce back game here. They kind of just got the doors blown off them at home by the Eagles. It was pretty gross. So hopefully they turn it around, turn their season around, and it starts here against the sorry Raiders. So let's go Bengals.
Hoo-day.
Next up, a good game out in Cleveland. Suddenly a good game because the Browns looked very competent. Hosting the Chargers, who have been a pretty just a solid team. Like nothing crazy, but they're getting it done. They are 4-3, heading to the dog pound. Cody, Browns are plus 1.5 at home.
Yeah, like I had elaborated earlier, just Winston looks great. I don't see a reason to not take him here in the spot at home, catching 1.5. So I'm going to be taking the Browns plus 1.5. I think Cedric looked great, and I think they can blow the doors off the Chargers, to be honest. I don't think the Chargers are that great away from home, so I'm going to take the Browns.
Yeah, this is going to be definitely a close game. One that's way better than it looked 2 weeks ago with Watson at quarterback. I like the Chargers. I'm going to go with their defense here. Jameis Winston, as great as he was last week, he's always susceptible to interceptions and being turnover prone. Chargers got a good defense. I think they can hammer home the pass rush. And I don't like the Browns, so Chargers.
I hate taking an AFC North team.
Never will.
Yeah.
Unless I have to.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty close game here. I'm just going to go with Jameis. I mean, I love it. I love the energy he brings, all his motivational talks. I love it. I love all of it. I'm going to go with the Browns here, plus 1.5 dogs, home dogs.
Make me the wolf.
Yeah, I'm going to make you the Wolf. I'll take the Browns plus 1.5. I kind of like the under more than anything in this game. I would actually like maybe even do alternate. I think it's going to be a low, scrappy game. Both defenses playing well. But Jameis absolutely gives them that second or that different dynamic that Watson just couldn't bring. And I think Kevin Stefanski, he's free, man. He's free. He can finally just coach a team that's not handcuffed by having Deshaun Watson needing to be out there. So I think this is a good spot for the Browns, and maybe they can put together a little run.
Watson, in his 19 games as a starter for the Browns, he did not eclipse 300 yards one time. Winston did it once already, and Flacco did it 5 times last year.
Forget, this Browns team is going to be motivated defensively now.
Yeah,
they have a good team. They have a good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, they have to cut him, bro.
On the other side. So next up, we got an AFC East battle, another divisional game here. The Bills are laying 6.5 at home against the Dolphins, who were my lock of the week. I've now dropped 2 straight locks. I was very confident in the Dolphins. Like when I pick a lock, I'm usually, I think all of us. I mean, that's why our lock records are very good. I was very confident in the Dolphins. They really let me down in this spot. I think the Bills are going to win, but I think the Dolphins. I mean, this is their season right here. I think they're going to throw it like all out there. The Bills do. Josh Allen in particular dominates the Dolphins. That's just a fact.
13-2.
13-2. That's a fact. This is also a game where Tua got hurt, right, in week 3.
Oh, yeah, they were getting the doors blown off them either way, though. But yeah, 34-10.
But no, I think this is a desperation game. I'm going to take the Dolphins plus 6.5. I don't love it. I wish we got 7.5, but I'm going to take them. I think I'm just going to say Hungry Dog runs faster and roll with it.
Yeah, I think the weather is the biggest factor in this game. I haven't really checked it, so I'm not sure what the weather's going to be.
It's in Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's cold, I mean, I don't know. I'm not the Dolphins.
If this game was in December, I would probably change my mind. But I think it's still.
I don't think the Dolphins can play in cold weather at all.
That's a fact. Worst cold weather.
I'm just gonna lay the number with the.
Is November much different than December though?
I mean, we're just scraping November.
So it does get a little different over there.
It's a little chilly in Buffalo, man.
Yeah, that's all right.
We're up near Canada, guy.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna lay the 6.5 with the Bills. I think they can get this one done at home by a touchdown.
Yeah, once again, divisional dog. Dolphins in a must-win, basically a must-win situation. Tua's back. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I like Dolphins to cover. Bills at home 7 against division rival. A little much. Yeah,
I'm going to be hammering the Bills here. Love it in the survivor pools as well. Tua has a very hard time beating Josh Allen. It's simple as that. He is 1-6 against Josh Allen, and he's going to Josh Allen's house in 40 to 50 degree weather. Anything under 65 degrees, I think he's like he's winning at like a 400%. Nah, what is it, like 4 out of 10 games he's a loser, something like that. I saw it before this, so it's something crazy. When the weather goes under 65, he's just a loser at the end of the day.
Big weather game, monitor that.
I like it in survivor pools, and I like the Bills to win this game and cover.
All right, next up, Cody's Cowboys heading to Atlanta, take on the Falcons, who are 5-3. Cody, I'll swing it right back to you. Falcons minus 2.5 at home. Are you taking your boys after a tough loss to the Niners?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Cowboys plus 2.5 on the road. Micah is tracking to play this week, which I feel like is going to be a great boost to the D-line. And CD and Dak look like they're finally on the same page. And if anybody's watched football in 2022 and 2023, they know what happens after the bye for Dallas. So I'm going to be taking, specifically Dak and CD. So I'll be taking those two to go off, and I'm going to take Dallas plus 2.5.
CD, what, 39 fantasy points?
He had 39.6, yeah.
Needed that.
Tough game, but I think I'm going to go with the Falcons at home. I think their offense is just like firing in all cylinders, and I think they have the slight edge in a close game. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, Dak's thrown multiple interceptions in the last couple games. I'm not a big believer in the Cowboys right now. I know CD and Dak just connected, and we love to see that. I have CD in fantasy, so I needed that. But I'm going to go with the Falcons here, minus 2.5. They have a pretty solid secondary. Probably pick off Dak again, and Kirk gets it done.
All right, I'll side with Cody here. Take the Cowboys plus 2.5. This is in a dome. That's where the Cowboys thrive usually. Also, I think I've said it multiple times in the show, the Falcons' D-line, their pressure has just not been there all year. What can the Cowboys do well if they get some time? They can throw the ball down the field, push the ball down the field, give Dak some time. I think he can really thrive in this spot, kind of like the over as well. But I will take the Cowboys to win outright, but obviously for the show, taking the cushion, 2.5. All right, next up, we got the Commanders and the Giants. A lot of divisional games this week. This one is a home dog, Nate. Giants plus 3.5.
Hungry home dog.
This is a tough one.
Hungry hippos.
This is a really tough one. I'm going to take the Commanders minus 3.5. They came off that. How about that miracle play? Anybody thoughts on that?
Wild.
Crazy.
Insane.
Super lucky, honestly.
Yeah, just an insane play. But the Commanders got like good vibes over there. Jaden Daniels is the real
just
deal.
Just a classic Bears loss, right?
Anybody see Tyreek Stevenson?
Yeah, that's
waving at the crowd in mid-play.
Oh,
Would you
yeah,
s-
I saw it. That's
What would you
great.
say to
is
him,
he
Cody?
doing?
What is your message?
that
this
was
season?
mid-
If I'm the coach, he's suspended. I don't. What do you mean? You didn't see the video?
That was mid.
I saw
Nah,
Bro, he was doing
I
it
did not
mid-play,
see that,
looking at the
yeah.
crowd, waving at
He's like,
everybody
yeah.
because they were
So
in. They were
And
in.
he's the one that tipped
That's a
it, I
bot.
think.
He tipped
got
the
back
ball
over
up,
there,
yeah.
tipped it. He
No.
was supposed to be on Noah Brown.
Did
He
tip it
jumped
up.
in,
Yeah.
tipped the ball up, and Noah Brown's ass naked in the end zone. Definitely should be a suspension, but it is Matt Eberflus. So.
That is all-time Bears. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, it's very
Eberflus
Bears.
is just, I don't know. That's on coaching, obviously. It just can't happen. And then I see people getting mad about like the slight hold, like Bears fans getting mad about the slight. Like, what the you talking about? You just give up that shouldn't be your concern.
Why
here.
did they let McLaurin catch a 20-yard ball right before that?
Right.
They let him go to the sideline.
That was just classic Chicago Bears. But back to this one, the Commanders -3.5. Great vibes over there. I just think everybody, Dan Quinn jumping up and down at the end of the game. Really like what is going on in Washington. And not to make this about myself, but this Commanders team reminds me a lot of the 2012 Russell Wilson rookie
Okay, bro.
season
Okay,
Seahawks.
bro.
No,
Nobody cares.
No, they
Nobody
really do though.
cares.
No, but the same vibes. They have these crazy wins. They have a young quarterback that's really taking the franchise in a different direction. I'm not even kidding. This is what I think of when I see them. They're very
All right,
similar.
yeah.
I'm
My
taking the
pick,
Commanders
my pick.
-3.5.
I don't give a about hungry home dogs here. The Commanders are a hot team. They're going to rout the Giants here. Daniel Bones Jones has no chance. No chance. I'm going to go to the Commanders -3.
Poor guy has no O-line. It's atrocious.
What does Cody always
Yeah.
say about Daniel Jones at home?
Yeah, nah.
Awful.
I'm with.
Pretty bad.
I'm with.
Awful.
I'm on the Commanders here heavy. Everything's going right for them. They had some luck on their side last week, but this game they don't need luck. I think Commanders will cover this game. Giants, against the Steelers, they scrapped out. They hung in there, but the Commanders, I think they're too good for the Giants.
Giants are leading the league in sacks, though.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence
Sexy
having
Dexy.
a great year.
Dexy.
Shout out to him.
Get him off that team.
I think we have a storm, right? Because I'm on the Commanders. Yeah.
Cue it up.
I like this a lot. -3.5. This team is just so much better than the Giants, and they're going to apply so much pressure to Daniel Jones. So this could get ugly, I think. It could get ugly.
All right, next up, the aforementioned Chicago Bears coming off a heartbreaking loss that we were just talking about. They're 4-3 heading to the Cardinals, who are somehow 4-4 and technically in first place now in the NFC West, which is just insane. They're a 1.5 favorite at home. Cody, I'll open with you. Are you taking your favorite quarterback of all time, Kyler Murray?
No, I'll be taking the Bears here to get to 5-3. I'm going to take them +1.5. Love the money line. On the road, of course. This is a game where I think the Bears bounce back. I think Caleb Williams has a much better game. He was just 10 of 24 for 130 yards. Just one of the worst starts of his career so far. Nothing much more to say. I just think the Bears may have a bounce back spot here. Their defense is still phenomenal in my opinion. I still believe Stevenson should face discipline, though. That was a crazy decision, what he did.
Imagine this happened on like a Belichick team.
Yeah,
Well, just
he'd
wouldn't
be
happen
off the
against Bucks.
team. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He wouldn't be playing.
tough game here. I'm gonna go with the Bears here. I think the Bears rebound against this Cardinals team off of that loss. I think Eberflus, for what it's worth, gets these boys locked in on track. DJ Moore had a quiet game. I think he gets going. Caleb Williams had a sorry game for like 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, 3.5 quarters.
But this Cardinals defense, I think he gets going against them. I like the Bears.
Yeah, this kind of feels like two kind of fraudulent teams. I think the Cards are a little more fraudulent, so I'm going to go with the Bears here, +1.5. I think Caleb Williams has a bounce-back game here, and they get this one done.
Back-to-back storms. I like the Bears here, +1.5. I also like an Adunze anytime touchdown. I think he's been quiet. I think this Bears offense can finally find some success. I know they've been very hot and cold. Not even that hot. They've been mostly cold, except for drives here and there. I think the Cardinals' defense isn't great. I think it's a good spot for the Bears. All right, next up, we got the Eagles playing host to the Jaguars at the Link. Eagles are laying 7.5 points, so that hook obviously big here. I will start. Cody and I were on the Jaguars last week. They covered for us against the Packers. I think a similar thing here, despite the injuries the Jaguars are facing. I think they keep this game relatively close, sneak it in the back door. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause. And I think the Jaguars cover. I think the Eagles win, but I like that hook. Give me the Jaguars to lose by about a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's the hook for me too, Squeeve. This feels like a little too many points here for a Jags team that's kind of heating up. Brian Thomas is a dog. He's leading rookies in yards. I'm going to take the 7.5 with the Jags here. I don't feel great about it. The Eagles are kind of a wagon right now, but I'm going to take it +7.5 Jags.
I'm going to be going with the Eagles in this game. The Jaguars, they've been very competitive in the last couple of weeks with the games they've been playing. But, I don't know, losing Christian Kirk and all that going down. And isn't Gabe Davis, he left the game last week too, right? Gabe Davis?
Kirk out for the year? Is that what you
Kirk's
just-
out for,
right.
yeah. Kirk's out for the
broken
year.
collarbone.
Yeah, and then who knows if Etienne's going to play. So I just think the Eagles. I think this is a game the Eagles win by 7 to 10 points.
Yeah, I'm with Nate. I'm going to be
Win
taking
by 7. You're not covering, right?
All right, 8 to 10 points.
8
I
to
don't
10
know.
points. I like the Eagles here. This Jaguars team is just riddled with injuries. I know Brian Thomas is now out 2 to 4 weeks with the rib injury, and then Kirk out for the year. Gabe Davis questionable, and Etienne still dealing with the hamstring. With all these injuries and the way the Eagles have looked the past 3 weeks, honestly, these past 3 weeks, they might be one of the best teams in the NFL right now. They've won each game the past 3 weeks by like double digits, so they just look phenomenal. So I'll be taking the Eagles to win by double digits again against a sorry team. And Doug Peterson's old team, he's going to get mollywopped.
All right, next up, another divisional game. The Seahawks coming off a tough loss. They got blown out by the Bills. Game was never really close. It was a weird game. But they are playing host to the Rams. The Seahawks are plus 1.5. I always start with the Seahawks, but Cody, I'll let you take the lead here. Rams, Seahawks, what do you like?
Yeah, I definitely like the Rams here, which is given the line why they're favored in Seattle because they're a better team overall. Puka just gave this offense a boost. They beat the Vikings, and you know how I feel about Seattle sometimes. So they're a Super Bowl team, I guess, supposedly, whatever.
It's only week. We're fine.
They've been blown out twice this year, and they're a Super Bowl team. So I'm going to be taking the Rams minus 1.5.
They lost to the Giants.
Yeah, that too. That wasn't really a blowout. Was that like a 9-point win?
Even the Niners game wasn't a
the
blowout,
Giants,
man.
bro.
The Niners game wasn't?
Not really.
Was the Bills game a blowout?
This one was,
That was just
kind of a blowout.
See, when my
Yeah,
team
that's
gets
bad.
blown out, I admit it.
I'm admitting it. They got
Yo,
blown out. They looked horrible.
honestly,
Yeah. They looked horrible.
Honestly, it looked like a pee-wee football team and like an
Wouldn't go that
actual
far.
football.
They
Like
went
it was pretty bad. And of course, I took the Seahawks. Right? Go ahead, my dog.
Yeah, I'm all in on the Rams here. I picked them last week against his Vikings. I'm taking them this week against his Seahawks.
The Rams are a good team, man.
They run the ball very well. You know, we saw what happens when they have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua healthy. Stafford threw 3 touchdowps
DeMarcus
all
Robinson, too.
Yeah, even he's scoring touchdowns and shit. So, yeah, so you had Matt Stafford throw 3 touchdowns through 6 games. Up until last week, he had 4 in 1 game.
Yep.
So, the offense is electric. Give me the Rams.
I mean, I think we all know where I'm going here. The Seahawks are terrible. The Rams are gonna probably destroy this line should be 6.5 at least. I don't know why it's 1.5. But yeah, the Rams just beat a pretty solid Vikings team. They're a little fraudulent, but they're definitely better than the Seahawks. I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams here. Minus 1.5 should be minus 6.5. I'm gonna lay 6.5 though for sure.
I think the Rams are a very good team. I think when Puka and Kupp are healthy, this is a very dynamic offense. The Seahawks defense has been struggling at times. They're giving up a lot of chunk plays. That being said, I am going to take the Seahawks here, plus 1.5 at home. I still don't know if they should be underdogs here. They're still a more complete team. And I think I'll make a side bet with you. Like, what can we do here?
What, 6.5?
Seahawks? No. The Seahawks Rams, this game. Like, lose, I don't know. What are we thinking? Dog food, cat food? What do you want?
No, I thought you were going to say Vikings and Seahawks future.
I don't gamble.
Whoa. Just for this game, though. You always pick against the – I know they took the Rams,
Dude,
too,
I feel like it's plus EV just fading the Seahawks.
All right, what
I don't know. It might be. I don't like.
What do you want? Side bet. Come on, give me something. Dog food?
Yeah, sure.
All right, dog food.
You like a dog treat. I would eat a dog
All right,
treat.
dog- this is-
Rocky's cat food.
All right,
I'd
dog treat game of the week.
I'll do
Rams
that.
win.
I like
I
spice
eat
it up.
dog treat. Seahawks win. Zach eats a dog.
Or
treat.
cat food.
Cat food's brutal.
That's
I don't know.
disgusting. That's gross.
Dog treat game of the week. All right, next up, Cover 4 Pod game of the week. The Lions at the Packers. Definitely discuss this with all of you. No, I think this is clear.
Yeah, the game of the week here.
This is
Game of the week.
our game of the week. I think this is clearly the game of the week, though. NFC North, we've talked about them. We ranted and raved about this division. These are arguably the 2 best teams in the division. I know Vikings fans will have something to say about that. But Packers plus 3.5 at home. I will start. I am taking the Detroit Lions. I think this is the most complete team in football right now. I think they're the best team in football. Obviously, the Chiefs are 7-0, so got to give props there. But I think the Lions are so complete. I lean to the Packers a lot, especially when they're getting points. I love Jordan Love. I say that every week. But in this spot, I don't know. I think Detroit's just a wagon. So I'm taking the Lions minus 3.5 on the road in Lambeau.
Yeah, man, the NFC North looking like the best division in football right now. Probably is. And the Lions are the best team in the league. They are. I'm going to go with the Lions here, minus 3.5. I like the plus 3.5 for the Packers at home, but Lions are an absolute wagon right now. Minus 3.5 Lions.
To this point, whether it's been Jordan Love or Malik Willis, the Packers have been good. They've been winning with Willis in the lineup, and it looks like Willis is going to start. But regardless, I think that comes crashing down to the Detroit Lions. Give me Detroit. I like them to cover.
I'm going to be lone wolf in the Packers plus 3.5. I understand Love will not be 100% in this game, but they are going to throw him out there. They're going to try to at least. This is the biggest game of the year thus far. Whoever wins this game is at the top of the division. He's not going to be 100%, though. His groin is pretty strained. They're saying it's like a grade 2 strain, so he's going to be – I know they have the bye, so they're going to hopefully send him out there, rest him for the bye week. But I think whether it's Love or Willis, they can keep this game within 3, so I'm going to be taking the Packers at home.
All right, Sunday Night Football. Zach's Minnesota Vikings on a 2-game losing streak now, taking on the Joe Flacco-led Colts.
Make it 3.
Might be.
The Colts have officially moved off Richardson. I think Richardson sat out.
Matt Ryan to start this game.
I think Richardson, Phillip Rivers. I think Anthony Richardson took a play off because he was tired. Is that correct?
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
He is now benched.
He like signaled like he tapped out.
Yeah, because that's
like,
a normal
which
thing
is
to do for an
crazy.
NFL quarterback.
And then he
I'm
told the
tired.
media that he was tired.
Yeah, that's good.
off.
Micah Parsons said it best. Do not tell the media that you're tired.
Yeah,
Don't
so
tell them anything.
That was insane to me. But in this game, the Vikings are now 5.5-point favorites with Joe Flacco leading the charge for the Colts. Cody, it sounded like you were already leaning Colts, so I'll let you start.
Yeah, no, the Colts plus 5.5 is my pick. I think Flacco is going to make this offense look so much more dynamic. Shout out to the people who have been holding their bags, whether it's Michael Pittman or Josh Downs, maybe Adonai Mitchell. Like, these are the types of guys that are going to see a boost. Congrats. Maybe throw them in your flex. But, yeah, I think the Colts plus 5.5 is the play here against a very sorry secondary.
Yeah, this game, if A. Rich was starting, I would go Vikings. But because it's Joe Flacco, we know how Joe Flacco just changes. The past 2 years, the offense is completely he's been on. And the Vikings, they've been reeling as of late. I think the Colts can definitely cover in this game. So give me the Colts, but I think the Vikings are going to win.
I think the Vikings can bounce back in the spot here. Their defense has been pretty solid all year.
You've been in a sheet this whole time.
I know, I'm sweating my ass off. Yeah, I think they can bounce back here. Two tough games, but they've been solid all year. Sam Darnold's been a good spark for them, and I think they can get this one done by a touchdown at home on Sunday Night Football.
It's a tough game. I'm going to take the Colts. I think Joe Flacco that's all I need to know. When Joe Flacco's out there, they have a better chance to win.
I wish A. Rich was starting.
I know. It was tough. I was leaning Colts anyway, and I didn't feel good about it. I was like, I think there's too many points. And then once Joe Flacco the news came out, it moved a point in the Colts' favor, and I feel pretty good about it. I think 5.5 is a lot of points. But I do think the Vikings will still win, probably get a field goal game here. But I have to take 5.5 with I know that it's a raucous place to play. Vikings fans out there. I think it's gonna be a good atmosphere, but I'll rescind that. I don't feel great about it, but I feel good enough here to take the Colts plus 5.5.
Something funny about Flacco too. He was on the Pat McAfee show, and he genuinely believes that he's a better player than he used to be. Like he thinks that like as he's gotten older, he's more wise. He's like, I have more will. Like, I'm wise. Like he thinks he's a better football player.
I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah,
I think he's better.
Like he thinks he makes better decisions and stuff, and he's more productive.
Do you think the Colts are a playoff team now? Because he's starting the rest of the way, you'd assume. So
yeah, they could genuinely make an AFC wild card. Yeah.
Oh yeah, talking about like the decision thing, you guys see Jameis Winston like saying, "If I'm making great decisions, I'm a great quarterback." I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Wow.
I mean, both.
That's what it comes down to.
Jameis Winston both make.
I think this move should have been
better.
made a little sooner, but
and same thing with the Jameis one. I think if they made that move a couple weeks ago, they could have a couple more wins.
Situation they can't. Though.
Right,
because of contract. It's only the contract.
I still think the Browns can if they shrink some wins. I don't think they're out of it just yet.
Browns and Colts.
No, they're
two
definitely
teams
not
to
out
look at here down the stretch. But all right, we finish in Kansas City on Monday Night Football. The lone undefeated team. Shocker, shocker. Chiefs are 7-0. They are laying 8.5 points against the Buccaneers. I will start. I've kind of learned my lesson here. Took the Chiefs last week, laying a huge number against the Raiders. They score that late touchdown. It looks like they're going to cover. The back door is always open. The Chiefs just don't cover big numbers. I think they win this game, but I'm taking the Bucs plus 8.5. I just cannot lay these big numbers with the Chiefs anymore. They're obviously the best team record-wise in football right now. They're 2-time defending champions, but they're not the 2-time defending champions of covering 8.5 point spreads. So I'm taking the Bucs.
I'm going to agree with you here. I mean, Mahomes has thrown a pick in every game this season, and he's 7-0. So that's pretty crazy. I mean,
what does that tell you about their defense?
He just wins games.
I'm
gonna go with the plus 8.5 though. Bucks are completely healthy, right? I'm not.
Godwin and
Mike
Evans.
Evans.
Not Godwin.
Godwin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. All right, scratch that. I'm laying the 8.5. Chiefs 8.5.
Yeah, like the Chiefs, they're 7-0, mostly from their defense. Mahomes, the offense, they've been very inconsistent at times. And with that being said, the Buccaneers, with all those pieces they had missing last week, they showed me a little something. I didn't think they would be in that game against the Falcons, and they still put up 26 without Godwin, without Mike Evans. So I think they can scrap and keep this within the spread number. So give me the Bucs to cover.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. We are in week 9, but one thing that's impressed me about the Chiefs is that we haven't even seen anywhere near close to how good they are. That's that's like the scary part. Like
Yeah.
this team isn't even healthy, and they're
That's a
going to be.
fact.
Yeah.
Like going into the playoffs, this is going to be like a healthy football team without Rashi Rice, of course. But like
DeAndre
when
Hopkins.
you have a team that's this good, it doesn't matter. Like we haven't even seen how good they actually are. So I just hope whoever's out there betting on Super Bowl bets, I just making it clear that I don't think you should be betting on anybody else except the Chiefs. But with that being said, I'm taking the Chiefs -8.5. The Buccaneers have no weapons. They're throwing to the likes of Sterling Shepard, Trey Palmer, and Cade Otton's probably their best player on the offense right now with Baker Mayfield, of course. But yeah, I'm going to be taking the Chiefs -8.5. The defense is just too good.
All right, moving on to locks of the week. We take a look at where we stand. Nate, red hot, 6-2. The rest of us pretty bunched up the rest of the way this season. Our all-time ranks still all over 55%, which is great. I will start
Great
with great stat. I'll start with Nate. 'Cause I'm feeling like you have something good cooked up here. Give me you're hot.
Yeah,
Take
I
the
mean,
floor.
my lock is I'm going with the Dolphins over the Bills. You know, if this game's in December or January, I do not agree. I do not go with this pick, but it's still a little early.
not
Dolphins
expected.
need the win, and I at least think they can keep it within 7.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay,
The Fins.
Cody, follow that up.
Yeah, my lock is going to be the Bills -6.5
Oh.
in Buffalo.
Conflicting lock.
He's
Love that.
13. He's 13-2
Is that like the first
against
time?
Miami.
No,
No,
it's
me
happened.
and
It's
Steve
happened.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's happened before that. I think last year.
Yeah,
too. It's-
definitely taking Buffalo here, though. I think Josh Allen, like I said, Tua is 1-6 against Josh Allen. I think this continues, especially the trend continues when they're in Buffalo as well, when the weather is going to be cold. We're in November now. It's not like it's going to be warm in Buffalo. I'm going to be taking the Bills -6.5. I think this team just looks so much more complete than last year. They have a bunch of young studs like Cooper's there now and Keon Coleman, Kincaid looking better. So I'm going to be taking the Bills.
I'm actually going over to your team, Cody. I'm taking the Cowboys +2.5,
That's a
which
good
might
pick.
feel like a weird lock. I was just gonna say that, but I really think the Falcons are good, but I think they're like more of like the B tier of teams. I'm not saying the Cowboys are amazing, but I think in this game, the whole pressure thing there's not going to be a lot of pressure on Dak. Dak's going to have the time. If they limit the turnovers, Micah might play this week. I think there's a lot of things going for the Cowboys here. And again, it's one of those desperate spots. And the Cowboys, if they lose this game, go to 3-5, the media is going to be all over them. I think this is a big, and we're getting points. We're getting plus the number here. So I like the Cowboys this week a lot. I'm taking them +2.5. I didn't expect it coming to this week that this was going to be my lock, but I'm here. We're here. Let's go. Zachary.
I'm going to go with the Commanders -3.5. I feel like that number
felt
is
too
a
obvious.
little too small. I think the Commanders run them down here and they get it done.
All right, moving on. Fantasy players of the week. Last week we had I forgot who you had, Cody. I think you had. I had
Calvin
Elijah
Ridley.
Moore. Oh, you did. That's right. That's
Yeah.
where I got that from.
went
Calvin Ridley
off.
was huge for me, and I had Elijah Moore, who just had another, he was all right. I believe I had Elijah Moore. Was that 2 weeks ago?
You had
No,
Elijah
that was
Moore.
last week.
Yeah,
It
you
was.
had
I've been
Elijah
talking about Elijah Moore a lot. Anyway, this week I'll start. I'm going Jalen Tolbert. I'm all in on the Cowboys this week. I obviously think the Cowboys offense is going to have a big day. I'm not taking CD as my fantasy player. That's too obvious. So I'm going to shift to their number 2 target, Jalen Tolbert. I was thinking about Jake Ferguson as well. Falcons against tight ends. I don't know. But I like Jalen Tolbert. I think he's a sneaky spot in deeper leagues. If you play any, Sunday Million on FanDuel or anything like that, you want a sneaky lower salary guy, Jalen Tolbert is your guy. Cody.
I'm going to be taking Xavier Worthy for the Kansas City Chiefs on primetime. I think he blows the doors off this Buccaneers secondary, and I think he has his biggest game of the year.
Last week I went with George Pickens as my fantasy player. Even though he gave in full PPR, he gave 11, 12 points. Should have had a 20-point game if everything with those touchdowns go correct. So with that being said, I'm picking Cade Otton against this tough-ass Chiefs defense. The Chiefs defense is a very tough defense to play against, but I think Cade Otton shines through and has a very good fantasy day.
Yeah, so this guy, he's been honestly kind of scrappy. He gets a touchdown every once in a while. I'm gonna go with my guy Xavier Legette on the Panthers.
Yeah.
If you need a flex
Legette.
option, he's gotten it done for me. So let's just hope he does it again. He gets 3 of 25 and a touchdown. That's all you need on the flex option.
That's wide receiver
The
one.
flex.
All right, I got one final question this week. It's Halloween week. Who wins in a fight? Art the Clown, Michael Myers, or Jason Voorhees? Cody, go.
Art the Clown. Dude is a psychopath. He wins every fight. Shout out Art.
Definitely not Art.
Nate Dogg, who do you like in that matchup?
They're all very sick and twisted and grimy. I mean, who outgrimes the others?
There's no way there's anybody more grimy than Art.
I don't know. It might be Art the Clown.
I think Art's +400 though. I don't know.
Really?
in that
Doesn't
spot.
Jason have superpowers?
They all
though?
have They're all
Art
like,
the Clown is
Bro, Art got his
Art's
head-
just a
He has some
sicko,
aura.
bro.
He got his head chopped off, and he came back in the third movie.
Yeah.
Right.
His head got chopped off.
I don't know.
I'm picking. Sorry, I didn't make a
No, you're
but I'm
good, you're
picking
good.
Art the Clown because
Yeah.
Jason
Is
Voorhees.
it gonna be
Because
a storm on Art?
no, ready. Jason Voorhees is scared of water. Art the Clown, I don't know what he's scared of.
He has no
nothing,
weakness.
no fears. And then Michael Myers, the very last movie that came out, he looked kind of soft at the end.
Soft, bro. Calling
He
Michael
died in the
Myers
fire.
soft
Well, he
is
stayed in the
crazy.
fire, but
That
Myers
ruined him.
soft.
Give me Art the Clown.
I mean, this is a sharp play. Michael Myers, it's all day, dude. Art the Clown, like, I don't know. He's a sicko, but like Michael Myers, look at his backstory, dude. That he's sicker than Art the Clown. He's sicker than Art the Clown. I'm going Michael Myers.
I'm a lone wolf, Jason Voorhees. I've always been a Friday the 13th guy. I think he's a dog. His game speaks for itself. I think he leads the group in kills. I think he's Art's definitely the most grimy out of the three, but I'm gonna take
Michael
Jason.
Myers like killed his whole family, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's bad.
That's fair.
All right, week 9. Enjoy it. Enjoy the Hallow weekend ahead, and we will see you back here next week in week 10. We'll see you soon.